Hi, Tammy. How are you?
Hi, Sid. I'm great, thanks. How are you doing?
Lovely on a beautiful sunny day in Durban and yourself.
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous. It's so beautiful, the weather here. It's just amazing. I'm loving it. It's This morning I went for a walk and it was actually it had a little bit of a chill in the air, so it
Oh,
was beautiful, really, really. And it was 17 degrees, yeah. So I was very thrilled, and I'm sure the temperatures will start declining rapidly now. I mean, now it's 26 degrees at almost 11 o'clock, but
oh,
which is a definite no-no. So I'm grateful that the temperatures are in the early 20s.
oh, that sounds awesome. So, as usual, so it's going to be good to catch up with you on this topic here, the Dubai fashion. So, my opening question to you is Dubai is known for its luxury and high-end fashion scene. How would you describe the overall fashion culture and style of the city?
Ooh, okay. So Dubai's fashion, I would say, um, it's ultra luxurious, glamorous. It is status driven. It's blending global trends with Middle Eastern elegance, very polished, very niche markets. People go for, even if it's jewelry, they go for statement pieces, bespoke designs. They want the dominance of the market of, first to have, first trends. And women embrace the style, the high end looks, and fashion here is more about the visibility and the personal branding rather than more about clothing. And if you've watched like Dubai Bling, you'll notice there's quite a few of the ladies there that have come out with their own clothing brands as well. So therefore I say it's more about like your personal branding. And Dubai is they're quick to jump onto trends, to adapt trends and innovation. I know there was some talk of where they would put in like gemstones, like healing gemstones into the thread of fabrics. So they ever looking at new trends, new ideas, and they don't just shunt down your ideas. They're very welcoming to see what you have. How can we get onto this, be the first to adapt new trends around the world. So they've really, really come a long way.
How does Dubai balance modest fashion traditions with modern global fashion trends?
So people here in Dubai, even the locals, they've come a long way from just the traditional abayas and the men with the kanduras, etc. So you will get, like on a Friday, the Sabbath, you will get the normal toned down abayas and so forth. But even with the traditional abayas, the kaftans, they're going with more like your contemporary cuts, different fabrics. What I've seen is in one of the malls, they were actually advertising the fabric of the abaya. Because remember, it's so hot here. So the
Mm.
abaya, actually, the fabric keeps you cool. And it's one of my favorites is you don't have to iron it. It's like a wash and wear kind of thing. So it doesn't crease. Crease resistance. That's the what it's called, the crease resistant. And so you get a lot of them coming out with not the traditional plain. So they're coming with a lot of embellishments, feathers, diamantes. They're going all out. So it's not your traditional trend. But I will say in Ramadan, they tend to tone down a bit. But even Ramadan, they have these massive iftar dinner celebrations where people are going all out with their feathers and, these large flowers on the abaya. So they're still dressing modest, but they're really working up those abayas and really giving it, that statement effect.
All right. There's a question for you already in the comments there. This is from Christian. Hi, Tammy. Thank you for a beautiful pod as always. Fashion in Dubai is second to Milan fashion. Is there a code of conduct of what type of fashion to be showcased?
So thanks for the question, Rish. So here, as she mentioned, is it's really taking over, like the Paris Fashion Week. You're getting a lot of the fashion extravaganzas, the showcasing happening here in Dubai. They tend to not go as bold like your Paris Fashion Week with, like your real your corset type of fashion. They still try to keep it modest, the ones that they're showcasing, but they do have those odd ones that are sort of behind the scenes, where you'll get the off shoulder or the very short type of thing. So the ones that do get showcased on the catwalk are still a little bit modest. They're not as like you would get your lycra, your clingy type of thing. You'd get one or two of them, but you would also get a huge abaya draped over, or something to cover up. So that's what I've noticed thus far.
Uh, what are some of the biggest fashion events or designers in Dubai that really stand out?
Oh, there's, trust me, there's like every type of designer that wants to come here and make a name for themselves. So you do have the Dubai Fashion Week. That's like the city's premier runway event that happens, showcasing all the international designers. I know we had like Gavin Raja and the like. You get the Dubai shopping festivals as well, where it combines a bit of the luxury, the fashion shows, pop up and exclusive collections here there, and then you also have the Arab Fashion Week, the AFW. That's a leading platform for the Middle Eastern designers, the haute couture, and also a bit of the modest fashion as well. So you generally would get that, I think, around about February, March. And so next year's one would actually tie in just before Ramadan. So I think it'll be a lot more modest with that, and more showcasing stuff for Ramadan as well as Eid. And then you also have like your city walks, your DIFC pop-ups, and then you have like niche curated events. I've also seen some of the India events that are coming through here, which is not like the India shows or India events that happen back in South Africa. It's a little bit more on the more niche market, your more extravagant, the opulent. They're looking at more of the high end, the high end ultra network individuals, which come to those events. I have been, I think, to two of them, and trust me, the prices were just really skyrocketing. So they have some of these really standout events. So, and some of the designers, to touch back on your question, some of the designers, most of the large names are coming here, and they're doing their own little private fashion shows with the names of, I'm not sponsoring anybody, but with the likes of Elie Saab, Rami Kadi, Bogesa. You see most of these TikTokers and Instagram accounts like Huda, House of Nomad. It's not only just the garments, it's not only the haute couture that they are doing. They're coming out with the bags, like your Indian bags or the beaded bags, and they are blending candles with that, and your oils, your musk oils that are blended like they sort of making it compatible with a garment or with fabric. So they're coming out with very nice ideas, So you buy the abaya, you get the candle, and you get the bag, you get the utsend. It's really nice how they're coming a long way from the traditionals of just the plain old abaya and the plain old like a Paris Fashion Week. They're really coming out with some very nice global trends here.
How does the fashion scene in Dubai compare to South Africa in terms of creativity, diversity, and expression?
So creativity, I will say Dubai is highly polished, luxury driven, very trend focused, I would say. And the creativity here is often expressed through the glamour, the opulence, and new innovation, new ideas, like I mentioned, with the fabrics, etc. Designers as well, they really push the boundaries, and in terms of elegance and sophistication. Whereas with South Africa, I would say they're still very localized. They're bold, yes, they're experimental with. It's more, I would say, South Africa is more culturally rich, whereas and their creativity draws more from the South African heritage. With like with the African textiles, the storytelling with the prints and the fabric. So South Africa comes from that, more blending the culture into the trends, into the fashion, etc. Whereas here in Dubai, it's more the elegance, the sophistication, and first to have. Also with diversity, here Dubai, it's one of the most culturally diverse places in the world. This is known as the cosmopolitan diversity hub. And fashion here is such a tapestry of cultures, places around the world that really intertwine here. So it's such a beautiful experience to be in one of these events, to look at the different cultures, look at the different areas coming together for the high-end market. Where South Africa, I would say, is not as diverse. They still focus more on the ethnic part of things. And I think it's also the regional trends, the urban influences in South Africa, where they've not really delved out much into the world, I would say. I've seen a lot of places where around the world where they do have the African couture, but it's not as bold and it's not as vibrant as as it is back in South Africa. I feel it's very limited to the South African boundaries. So to sum it up, I would say Dubai: luxury, elegance, visibility, highly polished, niche markets, top end. South Africa, more bold, culturally rich, and they experiment, but they deep, expressive more on the cultural side.
Has Dubai's multicultural population influenced the style, trends, and fashion brands available there?
Yes, definitely. So they have a very, as I mentioned, a very fusion of global trends, where you would get the European trends, the Asian trends, the Middle Eastern, and a lot of I see they're coming up with the African trends as well, where designers and retailers have a nice blend of like Western streetwear with the Asian minimalism, kind of trends. So they look at ever changing, ever evolving ways to come up with niche trends in the market. And I must say, Dubai has adapted a lot of trends, popular trends from around the world. Also, still keeping in. So even if you do have like something like bold and way out there, a fashion event, they would still cater for the very modest abaya, blending something in that. So still keeping the respect of the current culture of the Middle Eastern culture. So in short, Dubai's multicultural population creates like a melting pot, of styles, of trends, of luxury innovation that brings the global hub of the polished fashion to the stage.
My final question to you is for aspiring designers, model, or stylists, what opportunities does Dubai offer in the fashion industry today?
So I would say Dubai offers a wealth of opportunities for young, aspiring designers. This is your stage. This is, the old saying, the world is your oyster.
Mhm.
Dubai is your oyster. Go out there. come out with innovation. What I would like to see, and I have not seen here, is if you had to blend the South African, like your animal hides, your animal prints, your like your zebra prints, your leopard prints, get it out there and come up with something niche, something different with your furs, etc. That is something that would really be trending here in Dubai, that you can pair up with a animal hide handbag, or pretty sandals. So Dubai is always looking at new trends. For models, I would say this is the place to be. There's luxury shows, there's private shows that you can get into, there's the print modeling that you can do, for the magazines, there's the online, there's so much that you can get into. The commercial modeling, what I do, I do a lot of commercials for ads, there's so much that you can do if the models want to get out there and do, be it for corporate, there's just there's no limitations, I would say. And opportunities for anybody in the arts and culture, in the artistry, I would say, that if be it photography, video, hair, makeup, your merchandising, your PR, and there's just so much that you can get into in the fashion industry. I mean, I work doing commercials. I work with some of the people. You would get your stylist, you would get your wardrobe, the person that actually goes and gets the wardrobe done for you. You get somebody for the accessories. So there's so many little intricacies that goes into this whole thing to make the wheel turn. And I never knew this. You would get somebody that would have the runner to, okay, go to that store and get a handbag, go to that store and get a belt. So there's so much that it's such a, if I can term it, it's such a playground of fashion, and that everything, a fashion talent, and it offers access on an international platform. So use this, anybody wanting to get out there, use this as your springboard. Come here and have a look. There's a lot of these events that are actually free as well. Some people say, oh, it's expensive. Yes, it is expensive for the niche markets, but there's some of the events that are actually free that you can attend. Go to these events, go and have a look at these things. My hubby and I actually visited the sample sale. I was curious to know what it's all about, and they said it's the brand sample sale. So it was in a very high-end hotel on the Palm, and we got there, and it was really top-end, top designers. But it's called a sample sale. So you're getting very limited sizes. So for the samples, remember, samples goes on models. So you're getting the smaller sizes, even for shoes. So if you're a large guy and you want to go out, they had some beautiful golfers, golf shirts, etc. But if you're a large guy, unfortunately, you're not going to get your size. Even for the handbags, for the accessories. So it was one-off pieces. And okay, so for my budget, it was still very pricey. But if you look at the pricing of, say, for one golf shirt, which you're spending about 25,000 Rand initially, you're going to get it for about 5,000 Rand, which is quite a saving if you are shopping at that level. So there are these events that you can go to, and you can piggyback off. You can sometimes pick up some nice things. We do have another, it's called Brands for Less. I'm not advertising, but they go around and they get all the brands from the different high-end stores that don't actually sell, and they bring it to these stores. So you can get all the top designers. You can buy, be it your gym gear, your sweatpants, your sneakers, anything. You can get from gym gear, swimming gear, to evening gowns, casual wear, your jeans, etc. You can get it at these stores where they bring all these name brands, and that is I do shop there because it's I'm not one for name brands, but you do get good quality stuff in there at a real fraction of the price.
Wow. All I got to say is thanks so much for your time and look forward to the next one.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks again. That was a lovely chat. To all the listeners, love and light. Take care.